Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. Today I am again back with a very interesting topic from my book, The Power of Self-Talk. And the topic is, what is the key difference between regard and respect? And by the time this video will be over, it will be very clear that what exactly is regard, what is respect, what is the key difference between two, why respect is more important than regard, why people give more preference to regard rather than respect, and what can be done so that we can give more preference to respect than the regard. Well, let me share a very interesting story with you. Well, this story is of two ladies who met after a very long time in a parking lot, and they both were waiting for their son to come and pick them up. So from the dress it was looking like that one lady was very rich and other was quite poor. And the rich lady started to show her power by saying that, well, I live in the hills and I've got a very beautiful house. And then she asked the other lady that what your son is doing. Then that lady said that, okay, my son is just working in a non-profit organization and we are living in a very simple house. Then the lady said that, oh, my son went to the college and then he did very higher studies and today he's doing his own business and he's earning a lot of money. So in a way, the rich lady was trying to tell that how she is more powerful and more, strong than the other lady. And in the meantime, the son of the poor lady came. So, that helped the lady to collect all the luggage and all that, put in the car. And then the son said that, no, let's wait for the other lady's son to come. We should not leave her alone. And then they waited for that. And then in the meantime, after some time, the son of the rich lady also come. Now, the rich lady thought that let me now introduce my son to, the other family. So as she was trying to do that, the son was not very much interested. He said, no, mom, I'm very busy. We are already late. Don't spend more time with me. Just sit in the car and we have to move and and then they moved away. Now, if you look into this entire story, in both the cases, everything happened the same. They were waiting together. Both of their son came and they went by the car. But the most important thing is what happened in this entire process. Well, someone has very rightly said, respect is not based on their age and experience. It's about their behavior towards humanity. When we talk about regard, primarily it is external. It is more about a protocol. It's more about that we are showing somebody that, okay, we respect you, or maybe we value your relationship, but it's primarily trying to just show off to a person something that you are trying to say. For example, when a teacher enters a class, everyone stands up. It's a regard which is important. Or maybe in an army, whenever a senior person is going, the other army man will salute, which is fine, it's important to do. Or maybe in a family, whenever as a traditional family, when someone elder is coming, maybe the ladies, they just cover their head and do all that. So all as a part of regard. Well, someone has very rightly said that when we are doing something out of regard, then it is more superficial in nature. Now let's talk about respect. So when we talk about respect, it's more internal, it's more pure, it's more coming out from our own internal feelings that we feel something very good about someone. Say for example, the relationship between mother and a child. Now they don't say each other that we love each other, but then yes, something is there internally. Well, someone has very rightly said, with respect to the respect, that I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is a garbage man or the president of the university. Now let's talk and understand the difference between respect and regard. When we talk about regard, primarily we are talking about it's more of situational. But when we talk about respect, it is consistent. When we talk about regard, primarily it will vary from person to person. But if someone is respecting, then it will remain same in all the cases. In case of regard, it's always to please someone. But in other way. In case of respect, it is always to please ourselves. And lastly, when we talk about regard, it can always be quantified. But when we talk about respect, it can never be quantified. Well, someone has very rightly said, seek respect, not attention, because respect lasts longer. So that brings a very interesting question, that why the regard is much more prevalent than the respect. Well, if you look around ourselves, we all in general are living a very superficial life. We just want to be goody-goody with everyone, just to tell people that yes, we do care about you. But actually it's more on surface. Say for example, you meet someone after a very long time, then you may say to that person, oh, we are meeting after a very long time, why don't you come to my home, we'll spend some time together. And that other person will also say, oh yeah, certainly I will come. But if you find in both the cases, the person who is inviting is also not serious, and the person who is accepting the invitation and saying that yes, I will come, is also not serious. Both the parties know that whatever they are saying is just a lip service and not the real truth. But when everybody starts doing in this way, then that creates a problem. Well, someone has very rightly said with respect to this situation that self-respect knows no consideration. So it's very important to understand that if regard is any way bad than respect, the answer is no. Because there is nothing wrong in showing any regard to any person, to any elder, to any neighbor, to your friends, your colleagues, nothing wrong in that. But the problem is that when we only show the regard on a very superficial level, but we don't mean actually it, then the real challenge comes. Because at that particular time, whatever we are doing is just to please a particular person, not because we really think internally about that person. And then that makes a gap between two persons. And if you see around us, people around us, all a smiling face, but whether they actually are connected with each other, the answer is no, we all know that. Well, someone has very like said in this particular situation that the idea of respect is more than just being polite. So that brings very interesting question, that why respect is much more important than regard. Well, it's very important to understand that when we talk about respect, we are talking about the trust. We are talking about something that is coming from our internal heart and not something which is outside just to please anyone. So that's why the respect has much more lasting thing. Well, say for example, the relationship between husband and wife, the relationship between father and the son, the relationship between brother and sister. These are the relationship wherein the actual intent is that you don't need to show any special pleasantries to show that yes, you really love each other. It's more of an internal feeling with respect to that. Well, someone has very, very rightly said that show respect to people even when they don't deserve it, because respect is a reflection of your character and not theirs. So that means a very interesting thing, that can we change from regard to respect? Well, the answer is yes. It may be a bit difficult because we all are used to living a very superficial life. Say for example, someone comes to your home and now that person has come at a time when you already completed your lunch or dinner. Now you are not interested to make any food for that particular person. Now there are two options. Maybe out of pleasantry you may say that person that okay, would you like to have some food? And in case that person say yes, then it's a big problem at that time, because you may not be internally very happy, you may be cribbing and you will make that food. I think the best option is that in case you have asked a person and that person also said yes, rather than cribbing, if you can create a thought internally, if you can pass on the positive vibration that okay, now it's a situation, I don't have any choice, now let me put in my best effort and then serve the food. So this can be a small beginning with respect to starting the respect rather than showing the respect. Well, someone has very, very rightly said that respect yourself and others will respect you. Well, I am always moving between respect and regard. Many times I am only at a superficial level, but at times I see that whenever I do something internally out of respect, then I am much more relaxed and much more peaceful. I am challenging myself to change myself from regard to respect. What you are doing? Share your thoughts. Thank you.